Greetings VC, Andy here again, and this video is a continuation in my series looking at my 25 top albums of 2025, plus a few others, and this one's got a few of the others, so I'm looking at my number 15 down to 11. But I've also got, I'm also going to look at my favourite reissue live and compilation albums as well, and there's a handful of those, no numbers to those. Let's get cracking anyway with my number 15, and this is also my debut of the year, and it is the Lambrini Girls. Let me come over this side. The Lambrini Girls and their, as I say, debut album, Who Let the Dogs Out? Which came out in January, so this has kicked the year off, and it has remained my debut of the year all year long. So that's how good it is. It's punk with attitude, or post-punk really. They're two girls from Brighton, and who go by the name Phoebe Lunny on guitar. There they are, but I don't know which is which, to be honest, off the top, and also vocals, and Lily Macchiara, I presume that's how you pronounce it, on bass, and I think they sort of hire a drummer as and when needed. As I say, it's quite brilliant. It's got lots of attitude. It's really heavy, you know, and it's sort of. It's girls talking about stuff which bother them. I believe they are gay, and you know, so they sing about sort of stuff like that, but in a very attitude way. Like there's a song called "No Homo," and there's another song called so here, Contology 101. Yeah, and they do refer themselves as a pair of C's. And you know, another one, Filthy Rich Nepo Baby, and my favourite one is called Big Dick Energy, which is, you know, about boys being two boys. So that's that one, and it came out on Green. It was a Rough Trade album of the month in January, and it's got a CD with some 6 live tracks on it. So coming in at number 14, and this is my favourite Fuzz Club album of the month. Well, yeah, it was album of the month in, when were we? Early on, in February, and the album is called Skloss, and Skloss are Skloss is Karen Skloss, so it's named after her. Who plays drums, and her husband, Sandy Carson, who plays guitar. Now, they hail from Austin in Texas, which she is a native of, but he's from Glasgow, so they've sort of got together. And I love this term. I'll read this out quickly, because the Fuzz Club are always good at their descriptions. The Pattern Speaks, that's the name of the album, by the way, is the debut album from Austin via Glasgow, spacegaze duo. Now, I really like that spacegaze. I don't know what it is exactly, but when I listen to this, it really is a sort of mix between really heavy psych and a bit sort of heavy shoegaze in the My Bloody Valentine sort of style. You know, it blending heavy psychedelia, post-metal drones, meditative drums, and raw distorted riffs across these 8 equally pulverising and ethereal tracks. So there's only 8 tracks, but it's a full single LP, lasts about 45 minutes. Drummer vocalist Karen Skloss and guitarist vocalist Sandy Carson unleash a powerful atmospheric wall of sound that indulges the heaviest and gentlest sonic impulses all at once. It's very brilliant if you like that sort of heavy psych come shoegaze, and it's very resplendent on a sort of orangey splattery fare. Now, I'm doubling up a bit now, because in the last few days, sort of right at the end of November, I've received 4 new records, one of which is another Fuzz Club one. I mean, I've only had a chance to listen to them all a couple of times, so I will cover them in my December roundup, which I'll do early January. in detail, but I think all 4 of them would in some way come into my top records, and I'm going to mention one now. I can't chuck any out because it's I've not listened to them enough, but I've heard enough to think, yeah, I really like that. One of which, while I've been talking about the Fuzz Club, is another Fuzz Club which just come out, and it is by a band called Ashinoa, and the album is called Un Altra Forma, which means another form. They're French, and they're I'm going to read the Fuzz Club label hype sticker again. Written and recorded between Lyon, Bayeux and Venice, Un Ultra Forma, another form, is the new album from French krautrock project Ashinoa. While still driven by synthesized motoric beats and off-kilter experimental electronics, I've lost it, sorry, beats and off-kilter experimental electronica. There are moments of serene down-tempo bliss here too, and that is very true. Clarinet, flutes and sax are introduced with touches of psychedelic jazz, also true, and 60s Brazilian MPB, whatever that is, when at its most cinematic. For fans of Stereolab, Cavern of Antimatter, Vanishing Twin, Antenna, and the Heliocentrics, none of whom I know, but I really like this. I've listened to it a couple of times, and it would appear, if it had come out earlier in the year and I'd listened to it enough, it would have appeared somewhere in my my top list. So, coming in now at number 13, this is a pretty recent one. I only talked about in October, and it is the Warrington-Runcorn Newtown Development Plan and their public works and utilities. Now, I've only recently talked about this, but just very quickly, if you haven't seen or heard of them before, Warrington-Runcorn Newtown Development Plan is a project by a guy called Gordon Chapman Fox, or is it Fox Chapman? Chapman Fox, I think. And this is his, I don't know, about 6th, I think, in this series. And basically, he takes, it's a bonkers idea. He takes the town plan of Warrington-Runcorn. So there were new towns developed in England in the 50s and the 60s and through afterwards, based upon an actual town plan. Which was in sections, and he's produced an album for each section. I don't know why, it's what he does, and it is wonderful electronic music. As I said in my October one, he's really a composer, but his orchestra is a lot of synths, particularly vintage, analog synths and things like that, drum machines and so on, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's electronic, it's music, it's instrumental. There's one comment right at the very end of the final track, which goes over the People Matter, which goes over the whole of side 2, and very resplendent in black and red, 50-50. Coming in at number 12, and we have from Asheville, North Carolina, Wednesday, and their 4th album called Bleeds. This is really good, and it's another one where genre-wise, this really tickled me. I saw it described as countrygaze, and it's because it's sort of it veers around sort of Americana, not really country, but there's a bit of Americana in there. But it also goes into a little bit of sort of distort heavy shoegaze. It's very varied. I'd also saw it described as a patchwork of chaotic elegance, and I like that, and that's very true. The singer is called Carly Hartzman, and this comes about, and a lot of the sort of lyrics and so on are about the breakup of her relationship with the guitarist of the band, who's called MJ Lenderman, a brilliant guitarist, and now they broke up sort of just before the making of this, and never told their bandmates, and Lenderman now, you know, whilst he's appeared on the album, he's not touring with them. So, but a brilliant album, and again, it was quite resplendent on a sort of sky blue colour. And last but not least of this little rundown, before I get on to the live albums and so on, we have the Swedish Punks, and this is my punk album of the year, and post-punk really, and it is the Viagra Boys and their album Viagra Boys, and this is brilliant but bonkers, totally bonkers. This is also their fourth album, as I say, from Stockholm, and it's just, you know, it opens up with a track called Man Made of Meat, which is really about sort of, in a way, the over masculinity of men these days, and it's got some very, very funny lyrics in there. And I think the second track, one of the early tracks, is Bog Body, which is about a female, you know, found ancient body found preserved in a peat bog. So it's just out and out good fun, sort of heavy punk, and it's very, very, very resplendent on a sort of very pink swirly thing on clear vinyl. So let's have a quick look at my favourite compilation first of all, and then I've got a few reissues, really magnificent reissues, and a couple of live albums. So, my compilation of the year, I've only got a couple, but this was very different, is the modern sound of Harare Townships, 1975 to 1980. Roots Rocking Zimbabwe. So this is a double album. Came out, when did it come out? I can't remember, earlier in the year, obviously, by Analog Africa. And you know, we've all sort of heard of Zamrock. So this is Zimbabwe, which is next door to, or geographically next door to Zambia, and Harare being the capital, and really this is how the music in Zimbabwe was going locally in the years up to independence, and it's brilliant. It's quite different from Zamrock in the sense there's much more funk in here. It's got that sort of bluesy, you know, heavy guitar-based music as well, and it's just it's very different. But I've really enjoyed this. It's, as I say, my best compilation of the year, and it came with a really good, you know, a big booklet with lots and lots of stuff in there. So that was good, and as I say, it was on the Analog Africa one. So now my reissues, and I've got three, including one which is literally which I just received a couple of days ago. But my top one really is this, which you might also say is my box set of the year. Not that I've had very many, which is the Jesus and Mary Chain. Psycho Candy 40th anniversary deluxe edition. So this was released by Third Man Records as part of their vault. So this is you know, a subscription model where every couple of months or so Jack White's record company produce something on a unique basis. So it's not sold, it's only available subscription. Well, obviously people resell afterwards. This is magnificent. So really, arguably the very first proper shoegaze, heavy shoegaze that even predates My Bloody Valentine. So it came out in 1985, and it is the let me pull them out. And there they are. And this is a double, so it was a single LP originally. But this has been cut at 45 RPM, and it also comes with a double live album as well, live in Detroit in 1987. And it's, let me just read this. little note, it says, anchoring the set is a 2 LP version of Psycho Candy cut at 45 RPM. It is not hyperbole to say that this might be the loudest cut, not only of this record, but of any record you will ever hear. The high-speed treatment here affords the sonics a hitherto unseen clarity, blah, 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 and it is brilliant, and boy, is it loud, and it's clear as anything. It's a, you know, it's a proper audiophile thing. So let me put that down there. And also another audiophile one was Wishbone Ash Argus, and this came out, this was a reissue on the Analog Productions label, and you know, it's original master tapes. This is also cut at 45 RPM, and again, sonically it is superb, of this superb album, Wishbone Ash Argus, one of my favourite albums of all time. Absolutely superb. And then another one which I've thrown into the mix, because, and it has literally only just arrived, and it's another anniversary edition, and it is the 45th anniversary edition of the return of the Durutti column, which is the debut of Durutti column, which came out in 1980 on Factory Records. You know, and again, this was half speed mastered. It's at 33 RPM, but again, the quality of it is at audiophile level. And you know, Vinnie Riley, one of the great underrated guitarists of all time, absolutely superb guitarist. So those are my reissues, and then I've got a couple of live records, and this was a record store day one, not the one just gone, but earlier in the year. And it is Yes, recorded live at the Rainbow in London on, get this back to front, 16th of December, so 1972, so very nearly 53 years ago. And it's a triple LP, and of course this came out just, this must have been when they were touring Close to the Edge, and it's got just a superb Siberian Catru, I've Seen All Good People, Heart of the Sunrise, and You and I, Close to the Edge, and Rick Wakeman doing an excerpt from his Six Wives, and then Roundabout, and finishes on Yours No Disgrace and Starship Trooper. Actually, I think it's actually a five-sider, so I think there's from memory, there's some of the dreaded etching on side 6 or F. And this was released by Rhino. So again, it's a very, very good pressing. And finally, I mentioned this very, very recently in my, when I did my November update, and this is superb, and it's Mono from Japan, playing, called Forever Home. And they're playing live in Tokyo at the end, sort of last December, at the end of their tour. And as I mentioned last time, I saw them on this tour a couple of months earlier than this, in when they played in London. And it's post rockers, absolutely superb. It's a triple album, and of course I got the Blu-ray and the CD as well, so I got the whole lot. So there you go. So I'm just going to do 2 more of these. So we're halfway through, but I'll spend a bit longer and show samples. So next one will be number 10 down to 6, and then we'll finish off with my top 5. So thanks for watching, and come back next time. Cheers.